Hey, what's up guys? I'm Cliff Blazinski and I'm design director here at Epic Games, and you're about to see exclusive and never before seen footage of Gears of War 2's multiplayer. Now the first Gears was a success online, everybody plays it, they're still playing it, but we wanted to really take the game to the next level, and we have many more new multiplayer modes, we have new characters, we have new arenas, new execution moves. It's really a whole new game, and I think you're really going to like it, so let's check it out.
Three locations you're going to see on this exclusive video are going to be River, Security, and Gridlock. And so the thing that's really interesting about them is that two of them are brand new, and one is a reimagining of the Gears 1 map, Gridlock, which is sort of the baseline for all Gears maps. River is based on a single-player location that people get to see in Gears 2 called Landdown, where they actually go to deploy all the gears to the underground. It's a sort of snowy, wintry hamlet. It's a beautiful setting where there's beautiful violence as well.
The final location is a map called Security, which is a mysterious COG outpost with laser fences and laser turrets, in which players have to deactivate said turrets and lasers in order to acquire some of the bigger, better weapons. It's visually compelling, and I think it represents a nice cross-section of the multiplayer experience of Gears 2.
For Gears of War 2 multiplayer, there's a bunch of new things, and one of the biggest ones actually is that we've increased the player count.
So we wanted to make Gears 2 multiplayer bigger, better, and more badass. One of the easiest primary ways we could do that, bang for buck, is to go to 5-on-5. Right now it really feels like a really good number of 10 players in the battlefield taking one another out, and it really kind of rounds things out nicely.
We really want to make sure that whatever multiplayer mode we do is true to sort of the Gears vibe, that Gears universe version. So capture the flag. Imagine you had a flag, but the flag is a living person and armed with a shotgun and defending itself. So you actually are playing capture the flag with a flag that could kill you. And so you have to go and you have to basically capture the flag by downing him and picking him up as a meat shield, and then you have to drag him back to this location to score a point. So it's capture the flag, but done Gear style. So another mode that we're showing is, again, sort of a reimagining of a known style, which is the wingman, where it's you and a partner playing against everybody else. We used to call it 2v2, v2, v2, v2. The fact that Gears is really all about co-op, it didn't feel right to have this sort of just last man standing kind of gameplay. It didn't resonate in our world. So when we looked at how we'd want to have that kind of gameplay, it really felt more like it had to be sort of a co-op experience. The third mode that you'll get to see in this exclusive video is something we call Guardian. And really what it is, it's Assassination 2.0, where Assassination was a mode we had in Gears 1, and that we actually fixed it or tweaked it a little bit in a title update to try to make it more fun. And we added the restriction that you had to execute the leader to kind of add to the assassination field. But even then we felt like we could do more and said, what if the leader was the reason you're able to respawn? So as long as the leader is alive, your teammates can respawn, but as soon as the leader dies, then it's basically like Warzone. As soon as you die, you're out. By just making that simple little change, we were able to kind of create this whole new sort of feel to Guardian.
So some of the new weapons that we have in Gears of War 2 include the Scorcher, which is one of my personal favorites. It's essentially the flamethrower from hell. It is basically the most beautiful but deadly flamethrower ever conceived in a video game. Then we also have the Gorgon, which is a locust burst pistol, which is tremendously powerful and also very heavy. And then we also have a shield that players can wield, and they can carry that around and deploy that. You could actually carry the shield with the burst pistol and kind of use that as like a 1-2 punch. And then we have a poison grenade that players can use for area of denial in order to kind of throw this nasty, noxious cloud out.
So in Gears of War 1, we had the ability of using a grenade for grenade tagging. So we found that it would be more interesting to actually take that idea of grenade tagging an opponent and actually apply it to the environment. So now you can actually take any of our 3 grenades, the poison grenade, the smoke grenade, or the frag grenade, and you can actually attach it to a wall. And you can use that sort of as a proximity mine, so that if any time an opponent goes by, the grenade will go off. One of the cool things in Gears 2 now as well is we added this concussive force to a smoke grenade. So you can actually knock somebody down and disorient them briefly with a smoke grenade. It's a great new addition to the gameplay. One of the features of Gears Gears of War 2 is this idea of portable cover. We have it both in the shield that you get to carry, the idea of the meat shield, a feature that sort of led to meat flag, this idea of being able to hold somebody as a captive and defend yourself while they block the shots for you. One of the big things about Gears 2 is just not just relying on a static cover that's already placed in the world, but being able to carry cover with you and move with cover as it moves through the level.
So in the first Gears, the chainsaw, the Lancer, was a wonderful weapon, and players would cut each other up, and they had a great time doing it. But we never really got into the whole idea of if two players came at each other with a chainsaw, what would happen? It was essentially random who won. And now we're answering that question in the sequel, whereas players will lock onto each other and engage in this life or death struggle with sparks flying and the light flickering, and they're grunting and they're pushing, and players are mashing the button, and within 3 seconds, one player will wind up winning and cutting the other guy in half. And it's this tremendously memorable moment to see these two soldiers, these two huge warriors dueling on the battlefield with these weapons. In Gears 2, when you knock somebody down but not out, first of all, they can try and crawl away from you. But if you do happen to get a hold of your enemy, you can first take them hostage, which is called meatbagging them, so you're kind of holding them as a human hostage, human shield. You can also finish them off by then breaking the character's neck and dropping them on the ground. Or if you want to, while the foe is crawling away, you can hit the Y button to do an execution. And there's all sorts of crazy ones, from using the long shot sniper rifle like a sledgehammer, to using the torque bow to popping the enemy's head off, to climbing on top of them and just beating the crap out of them. So there's just tons of them there this time around, and they're a great way to finish off the round and get your buddies cheering on Xbox Live. So in Gears 1, we found that a lot of players felt that evading towards their foes, rolling essentially, and shotgunning at the end of that evade was an effective technique. And that really wasn't the game that we envisioned. So we hooked in this idea of stopping power, whereas players get shot and they actually will slow down progressively with more bullets, so that players can no longer just run blindly at each other, gladiator style. They actually have to be a little bit more tricky and use the cover system and flank and deal with suppressing fire from their buddies in order to really earn their kills this time around. Gears 2 is bigger, better, and more badass, and the multiplayer most certainly shows that. We have amazing new game modes. We're shipping with at least 7. We have great new multiplayer arenas. We have nasty new weapons, grisly new executions, a larger scale of the multiplayer, and I think players are going to be pleasantly surprised with the complete package that we're delivering for them. Thanks for checking out this exclusive look at Gears of War 2's new multiplayer features. Looking forward to seeing you guys this winter on Xbox Live.